The carrion crow, gorcrow, is a passerine bird of the family Corvidae and the genus Corvus, which is native to Western Europe and Eastern Asia. Taxonomy and systematics. The carrion crow was one of the many species originally described by Linnaeus in his 18th-century work Systema Naturae, and it still bears its original name of Corvus Carrion. The binomial name is derived from the Latin corvus, raven, and Greek koron, kappa omicron rho omega nu eta, crow. The hooded crow, formerly regarded as a subspecies, has been split off as a separate species, and there is some discussion whether the eastern carrion crow is distinct enough to warrant specific status. The two taxa are well separated, and it has been proposed they could have evolved independently in the wetter, maritime regions at the opposite ends of the Eurasian land mass. Description: the plumage of carrion crow is black with a greener-purple sheen, much greener than the gloss of the rook. The bill, legs and feet are also black. It can be distinguished from the common raven by its size for ravens, and from the hooded crow by its black plumage, but there is frequent confusion between it and the rook. It has a wingspan of 84 to 100 centimeters or 33 to 39 inches. The beak of the crow is stouter and in consequence looks shorter, and whereas in the adult rook the nostrils are bare, those of the crow are covered at all ages with bristle-like feathers. Distribution and genetic relationship to hooded crows. The carrion crow and hooded crow are two very closely related species whose geographic distributions across Europe are illustrated in the accompanying diagram. It is believed that this distribution might have resulted from the glaciation cycles during the Pleistocene, which caused the parent population to split into isolates which subsequently re-expanded the ranges when the climate warmed, causing secondary contact. Poe Elstrana and co-workers sequenced almost the entire genomes of both species in populations at varying distances from the contact zone to find that the two species were genetically identical, both in their DNA and in its expression, except for the lack of expression of a small portion of the genome in the hooded crow, which imparts the lighter plumage coloration on its torso. Thus the two species can viably hybridize, and occasionally do so at the contact zone, but the all-black carrion crows on the one side of the contact zone mate almost exclusively with other all-black carrion crows, while the same occurs among the hooded crows on the other side of the contact zone. It is therefore clear that it is only the outward appearance of the two species that inhibits hybridization. The authors attribute this to assortative mating, the advantage of which is not clear, and it would lead to the rapid appearance of streams of new lineages, and possibly even species, through mutual attraction between mutants. Krishnan and Akila propose, instead, that coenophilia is a more parsimonious explanation for the resistance to hybridization across the contact zone. Despite the absence of physiological, anatomical or genetic barriers to such hybridization, behavior and ecology. The rook is generally gregarious and the crow solitary, but rooks occasionally nest in isolated trees, and crows may feed with rooks. Moreover, crows are often sociable in winter roosts. The most distinctive feature is the voice. The rook has a high-pitched kaa, but the crow's guttural, slightly vibrant, deeper croaked kraa is distinct from any note of the rook. The carrion crow is noisy, perching on the top of a tree and calling 3 or 4 times in quick succession, with a slight pause between each series of croaks. The wing beats are slower, more deliberate than those of the rook. Like all corvids, carrion crows are highly intelligent, and are among the most intelligent of all animals. Diet. Though an eater of carrion of all kinds, the carrion crow will eat insects, earthworms, grain, small mammals, amphibians, scraps, and will also steal eggs. Crows are scavengers by nature, which is why they tend to frequent sites inhabited by humans in order to feed on the household waste. Crows will also harass birds of prey or even foxes for their kills. Crows actively hunt and occasionally cooperate with other crows to make kills. Crows have become highly skilled at adapting to urban environments. In a Japanese city, carrion crows have discovered how to eat nuts that they usually find too hard to tackle. One method is to drop the nuts from height onto a hard road in the hope of cracking it. Some nuts are particularly tough, so the crows drop the nuts among the traffic. That leaves the problem of eating the bits without getting run over. So some birds wait by pedestrian crossings and collect the cracked nuts when the lights turn red. Nesting. The bulky stick nest is usually placed in a tall tree, but cliff ledges, old buildings and pylons may be used as well. Nests are also occasionally placed on or near the ground. The nest resembles that of the common raven, but is less bulky. The 3 to 4 brown speckled blue or greenish eggs are incubated for 18 to 20 days by the female alone, who is fed by the male. The young fledge after 29–30 days. It is not uncommon for an offspring from the previous years to stay around and help rear the new hatchlings. Instead of seeking out a mate, it looks for food and assists the parents in feeding the young.